10 years and 1 dinner equals countless astounding achievements.
Over the last 10 years, we have learned more about this disease than we did my entire career before that.
They called her Tweety.
Dr. Levy is helping us.
A lot of our friends have gone through it.
The videos serve as snapshots, capturing the quest to predict and prevent brain disease.
Yesterday's experiment didn't work. I repeated it today, and the gel is hot.
Yeah.
Right where it needs to be.
All right.
So I'm pretty excited.
We introduced you to the North Georgia Chastain family.
How many people have had Alzheimer's in their family?
Half of whom get Alzheimer's disease. They give their time and their blood to assist the search for answers. We learned about the protective power of music. Brain images made during cognitive testing confirm there are more pathways for neurons to do their work in the brains of musicians, especially those who began in childhood. And we hear the voices of our physician scientist whose mission has changed little.
I don't know that it would be possible to overstate the urgency.
Urgency and hope.
I can taste it. It's coming.
We created partnerships with technology leaders.
We're using the best minds in the country, many across the street at Georgia Tech.
From smart homes to smartwatches to generous donors, we are about to open our doors at Emory Brain Health's Cognitive Empowerment Program. Gone are the days of diagnosis and once-yearly visits.
A key part of this concept is that it's a real partnership. And so this is patient, family-centered.
From therapies to exercise and diet, Partners in the Day program will be part of a living laboratory, monitored for any cognitive changes, supported week to week instead of year to year.
Pretty good. Stop right there. All right.
Because research is the way forward, Emory is partnering with Georgia Tech for a human trial of a device known as Flicker. It removed amyloid from the brains of mice, and now we will see if it works for humans.
It's really cool, you know. I mean, it might be that we'll have a non-invasive treatment where we can tell people, geez, you have early stages of a condition that, like mild cognitive impairment, we think Alzheimer's pathology is underlying it. We're going to send you home with goggles, and we're going to monitor to make sure that things are improving.
One of the main reasons you want to be in research is to make sure that whatever it is you're developing, whatever it is you're studying, is applicable to all people.
Dr. Monica Parker is part of a team dedicated to education outreach. The numbers tell the story of progress in getting African Americans to participate in research.
We're now at nearly 35 to 40% African American in our memory study, which is the longitudinal study that we share with the other ADRCs.
Ambassador Andrew Young and his wife Carolyn are now partners in the cause.
It's the only thing I'm afraid of. I've never been afraid of death. All through the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King used to laugh and joke about death and who was going to get killed this time. And then he'd preach a funeral and he'd say all the embarrassing things you'd never want said in church. But the way he helped us to deal with death was to make us laugh at it. I can't stand the idea of my inflicting pain on my loved ones. I want to see us find a way to keep people healthy and productive as long as possible.
So I think we need to really continue to give and do more research.
Carolyn and Lem Hughes are longtime supporters. Lem helped fund and create the Emory Autism Center at a time it was desperately needed, and they've answered the call again.
We've had such a good life ourselves. It just is the right thing to do, to give back.
Carolyn walks every day, hoping exercise and a clean diet will prevent the Alzheimer's that claimed her mother.
She was just a great mom, and she was so kind,
so patient. She started showing symptoms of forgetfulness and a little confusion. And then she burst into tears. And she said, "This is so terrible. This is so terrible. I can't even tell you." And I said, "Mom, we all forget things. It happens to all of us." And she said, "No, this is different. This is so different. It's not like that." And I think that was the only time I ever saw my mom cry.
And that has truly been the heart of this 10-year journey of a family affair. Our families.
Such a people person. He never went into a room that he didn't know people. He never knew a stranger. There was such a change, and that's when we knew something was different. He became very isolated. He wasn't really interested in being around people.
She started to change some. And it was so sad for my girls to see Mom progress like that.
Whether I was trained for this moment in time through my life experiences or my family, I'm very much a person who says, okay, what do we got to do next?
She was a true Southern lady. She was very kind, very patient, very bright.
The news could have big implications in the search for a cure.
Today's study matters a lot to the Schaffer family.
I love this one.
Married 50 years, Charlie and his wife Harriet have 3 kids and 9 grandkids, and now a new challenge.
I don't want my children to have this, and I don't want my grandchildren to have it.
David, where'd he go? And then as we left, he was asking for us. He didn't deserve that.
The future without you.
Oh, the future? Honey, I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it. Or they'll fix it. Maybe better. We'll be all right, honey. Don't worry.
We have lost members of our family. We'll never forget the feisty and fun interview with Greg and Taz Anderson.
And he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to stay here and drive me crazy for the rest of my life.
Oh, me. That's, I can't argue with that.
We lost Taz a year after this interview in 2016. Just weeks ago, we lost the former executive vice president of Southern Company, Warren Jobe, a generous man who helped establish the Georgia Power and Southern Company Foundations and who chaired this event just 3 years ago.
Her little sister came down the hall and said, "Sarah, your date's here," and he's bald-headed.
He was bald then, came to pick me up in a suit, which don't know I've ever had a date in a suit before.
That bald-headed boy became hers, and together they built a life, a family. Sarah and Walton Clark were longtime friends and supporters. Just 5 years ago, they chaired this event, their love for one another shining through. Sarah died unexpectedly on August 30th after a short battle with congestive heart failure. Walton, who was very aware of Sarah's absence, died 55 days later.
We're blessed with a lot of great things in our lives.
Oh yeah. Great children, wonderful friends. You know, we have a good life.
At the heart of this event, one heart dedicated to this cause, Mary Rose Taylor.
She came to me and said, "Alan, I'm ready. I have the energy and we're going to do this." And it's like, wow, I didn't know what I was getting into. It's like, buckle up, Levy.
Buckle up indeed.
She thought so big, she just reached a different dimension of what could be than I would have ever imagined. So I just felt very lucky that I was allowed on her train. you know, because it was pulling out.
The easy lessons are the ones that she taught us about how to educate a community, how to get a community engaged, how to tell a story, that we need to tell a story. We need to come out of our laboratories and our clinics and share what we're doing because it is exciting and important, and that the community's here to be our partner if we do it right. So she taught us all those things, but she taught us more than that about what it means to not give up, right? I mean, the importance of a purpose in life. You know, the purpose in life that she has shown us is so important, is waking up and having a commitment to really make a difference.
Mary Rose, Margaret Mitchell, you might say, were a kind of feminine conscience of the South.
4 years ago, Mary shared a bit of her private life with her husband, Dennis Lockhart.
I told him first that I loved him.
While I was driving, I came close to driving off the road.
Despite her struggle with ALS, Mary remains a fierce advocate for brain health. It only seems fitting that tonight, 10 years into this journey, Mary Rose Taylor has the last word.
I don't think about what I've lost. I can't afford to think what I'm not going to be a part of. I have to focus on the joys of the moment. We don't have time to wait.